Hi everybody, it's Max J. Miller, co-author with Robert Hollis of the upcoming How Is That Working? And today I'm going to read to you the fourth and final installment of the introduction to my earlier book, How Do You Know That? This is a book about the power and influence of story and stories in our lives and our culture. In the last section I was talking about Robert Hollis gave me the idea of the name of the book because he often asks his apprentices the question, how do you know that? And he also makes statements such as, for things to change, you have to change. So I'm going to pick up from there. A mentor's intervention in the form of such questions and statements often evokes a natural chafing response. What do you mean I have to change? What's wrong with me the way I am? Or, how do I know that? I just know it. The mentor's implied rebuke stings, but on some level, the would-be hero senses both the truth and the necessity of the mentor's challenge. Jesus famously declared, "The truth will make you free," but I love Flannery O'Connor's witty spin on this quote. She said, "The truth will make you free, but first it'll make you as mad as hell." It's crucial to realize that this interior work that I'm speaking of is not about fixing something that is wrong or broken. Like heroes before you, you must break up old limiting ways of thinking, speaking, being, and acting in order to expand your capacities. Storytellers often symbolize this struggle with dramatic images from nature, such as the snake shedding its skin as it grows, the iconic rebirth of the caterpillar into the butterfly, and of course the awe of human birth. In a similar way, Joseph Campbell explains, the good mentor leads the hero through a process of initiation, whereby the mind is radically cut away from the attitudes, attachments, and life patterns of the stage being left behind. The purpose and actual effect of these rites of passage was to conduct people across those difficult thresholds of transformation that demand a change in the patterns not only of conscious but also of unconscious life. That was Campbell's quote. Letting go of our familiar and comfortable ways may give rise not only to anger but other painful emotions such as anguish, grief, and sadness. The fitness mantra popularized by another famous action hero, Arnold Schwarzenegger, applies here. There's no gain without pain. For this very reason, Jesus advised his would-be disciples that it is wise to consider the cost before starting any great project. If you are so inspired to pursue a dream or to bring something new and wonderful into this world, you cannot avoid this inner journey. The journey which I call the way of transformation. Inevitably, a book will fall short of delivering the actual transformation that will be required to make your dream possible. That work can only transpire in the crucible of your own lived experience. Just as a mentor's work is limited to guiding the hero into conditions in which insight may be experienced and wisdom discovered, you can recall the proverb, you can lead a horse to water but you can't make him drink. This book offers to point you toward this journey of transformation and to introduce you to several established pathways by which you may experience transformation for yourself. As you continue through this book, take note of your own thoughts and reactions. You may begin to detect patterns in your responses. You may begin to tune into a running commentary in your thoughts that has a familiar mood and focus. For some, this so-called little voice judges each new idea based on a scale of right or wrong. For others, the commentary focuses on what's good versus what's bad. Some of our inner critics express their running critique on a like-dislike scale based on how the idea makes the inner critic feel. For now, simply observe the patterns of expression from the ongoing commentary in your head. Don't try to change it. Don't suppress it, simply observe it. You may discover that simply observing these patterns yields insights. Make note of these as well. Some readers will find that observing this little voice and letting it be, without adding yet another layer of commentary to it, will create an opening for new thoughts and new insights. Whatever you observe, make note of it and then gently return your attention to the subject at hand. Once you embark upon your chosen path of transformation, such observations and insights will be valuable. Paths of transformation vary greatly in style and approach. Some paths are solitary, while others involve participation with a group or community. Some paths are more accessible than others. Most involve a mentor of some kind. Some established paths, or disciplines as they're sometimes called, have religious packaging. Others are entirely secular. In spite of this diversity of forms, it's possible for us to explore the general subject of transformation on the same basis that Carl Jung, Joseph Campbell, and others have written insightfully on the universal themes, motifs, character types, and plot lines that recur in our dreams and in the stories humans have told throughout the ages. That is, in spite of advances in knowledge, technology, and civilization, the fundamental human condition remains constant. Our lives are animated by common questions, common concerns, and aspirations. Likewise, we are thwarted and sometimes bound by common weaknesses, prejudices, and fears. According to Joseph Campbell, these commonalities in the human psyche account for the pervasive patterns in myth and human storytelling. In the same manner, they explain the observable patterns and common characteristics among effective paths of transformation. Fortunately, and some would assert providentially, genuine transformation in all its varieties produces very similar outcomes. It empowers us and liberates us. Transformation provides access to our deepest and richest resources and capacities as it sets us free so that, in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, we may, quote, become the change we wish to see in the world. I wish you a hero's bounty of courage and joy on your journey. May you be sustained by faith, hope, and love for each step along your way. That ends the introduction to this book, and perhaps over the next few weeks I'll share a little bit more out of that book. I just kind of wanted to set up a context for how I think about story and the framework in which I'm discussing story so that you would understand and have a little background in that. Thanks for listening. Ask questions, leave me a note, contact me. I appreciate your feedback. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.